What up, Blockhead? So you're asking yourself right now, why are you riding this Blocks 48 with a cutesy little cup holder? Headed up to Standard Motorcycle Company because we're getting this baby a new pair of shoes. All right, here we are, Standard Motorcycle Company. Padre!
Got my blessings.
What up, dog? How you doing, man?
Good, good.
They got some dry rot in them. In some of the treads, you can see it.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going, man?
So we're going to show you guys how we change a tire at Standard Motorcycle Co. First step is to completely smoke the old one. Alright, now once you've reached optimum tire changing temperature, it makes it easier to get it off the rim. So that's the explanation for that.
Yeah.
We're going to head in and put it on a lift and go to the tire machine now.
Shit, brother.
That was good.
Oh, yeah. All right, so what up, Blockheads? So yeah, today we're going to be doing a... Just magical lifts up. Perk of Standard Motorcycle Company. So today we're going to be changing out the tires. Going to be showing you guys how to take the wheels off of a Harley-Davidson Sportster with my man Pedro over here. You guys have probably seen him in a couple videos. This is Giselle / Girl on Two Wheels' husband. Somebody called you Padro in a video, and then I started calling you from that Padre. So now you like bless the bikes and stuff. Yep. So you want to explain to people what we're going to be doing?
We're going to change some tires.
All right, so we're going to start with the rear.
Yeah, first thing we do, we just take that little jack over there and put it under the bike. Every motorcycle has its right place to put the jack. This one, it's a Sportster, so it should be pretty simple. Lightweight, so we're just going to use
Oh, those are
this.
nice. Those are super nice. I need one of them. I guess I don't need one. I can just come up to Standard and get one.
So in most of the models, it's very difficult to understand without the service manual where to put this, because if you pinch it over, you can bend a lot of stuff. And the Softails is different, the Dynas is different, the Touring is completely different. So there's a lot of stuff to do and to avoid.
And having a lift makes this much easier because you can actually see where you're putting it.
Yeah. First thing we do is just get, a lot of people just don't get this part, but this is so important. You get the weight out of the wheel. Once you get a little bit of weight out of the wheel, it makes your life so much easier, but you can't lift it all the way. Just get enough, pull the axle out. If the tire is like, if this is like out of the ground, it's gonna be so difficult.
Oh, true.
If it's still pressing the whole weight of the bike on it, it's gonna be difficult. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Boy, you smart. You done this once or twice?
My best friend for the axle build.
There's you know who Chase on Two Wheels is? There's a saying, when in doubt, mallet.
Always.
You're onto something, Chase.
This is important too. Put it back, I mean.
Don't forget it. There's a big old socket, sir.
You call that a ratchet? This is a ratchet. So usually you should break this a little bit loose to readjust it every time. But I'm gonna leave it as it is, and then when we put back the bike, we already have like a base to like for the alignment and all that. I don't understand. If some Harley engineers watching me do this, like, please do explain what did they use metric bolts and standard bolts on the same bike. So you just remove this little tab over here. If you like your pads, they look good. You want to check them? We can check them. It's another lesson right here. You remove this little thing over here. When you change a tire, you should check. First, you're going to check your brake pads. You're going to check your bearings. You can check your rotor too to see if there's any warpage or it needs replacement. Actually, the newer bikes they do have over here what's the minimum thickness of the rotor. Look at that. And these pads haven't been changed since this bike was bought. How long ago?
That's made in 2010. It's a 2010 model, so.
So let's look at these pads too, right? See how good they'll look. Well, they look alright. They're a bit glazed. This took a beating. You can see some grooves on them. Yeah, something got stuck in there because you can feel it on the inside of the rotor too.
Oh yeah.
Remember when I told you about what I was doing for keep taking the weight from the wheel?
Right.
It makes this process so much easier. Look how stuck this thing is in there, huh? Well, the mallet is gonna work. Better cut right now because this is gonna get ugly. Yeah, dude, totally dry. That's why it's fighting us. You should always put some grease on that. Cute, isn't it?
Cute.
Word for the day. Be prepared to hear some stuff falling, some spacers. These always fall. These over here always fall, but there it is. It's out.
I think it's dry as a bone, man.
And there it is. The belt should just come off if you pull the wheel forward a little bit. Boom. Just make sure it's not rubbing against anything. You don't want to damage the belt. There we go. Told you the spacer. About those spacers. And this one should fall in a little bit. Like, there we go. Boom. Okay, so this is pretty much all done. Remove the wheel. Now what we got to do is lift it to a point where we can clear it out of the fender and be really careful not to damage anything, like rubbing the rotor against the swing arm and all that. The reason I removed the pads over there, not only for inspection, but also to clear out the way a little bit more. And this should be it. There you go. This just comes off right away. And you don't leave it like as I was saying, don't leave it dangling. Just get it hooked up to something. Like, I got out of the way like this. Boom.
Bam.
Just stays here.
Bungee it up.
Yeah. And there we go. And now here we are by the thing I hate most at the shop, the tire machine. I think it's like every technician's nightmare sometimes, especially when you're starting as entry-level tech. This is like your biggest challenge, I would say, because you will do that's what they're going to throw at you all the time. This is a tube tire, so this requires a little bit more of a work to it. We'll get to it in a little bit. The first thing to do is get over here and remove the inside of the valve to get all the air out.
Oh, you're taking the valve stem out?
Yeah. I like getting this loose. See that? You'll only be doing this if you have a tube.
So if you have mag wheels, no tube, right? It just sets on a bead. Spoked wheels, you have a tube.
Spoke wheels, you have a tube, and then you have a rim bend around it that you should check and change it all the time. Also, when you change the tire, change the tube, change the rim bend. It's so cheap, and it's like, to be honest, it's when you're on the side of the road because you're using old rim strip, rim band and old tube, you'll feel like you should have done it when you put that new tire. That's what keeps the spokes from actually doing damage to your tube. You're actually going to separate the tire from the rim itself. When you do this, make sure you don't break the bead right over here on the stem. And that goes also to the tubeless tires, the mag wheels, just to be on the safe side.
So what are you doing right here? You're breaking the bead?
Yeah, breaking the bead so I can get this tire out. You gotta be really careful to not rub the pulley or the rotor in there, or you'll have a bad day, because this thing, you will destroy it. You will destroy it. You can't even grab this thing to pull over here, because even being steel, Harley makes really heavy rims. And don't call me names, man, they're heavy. They will bend, they will warp.
Like I was saying earlier, most of you guys are not going to have access to this machine.
Become part of the co-op and you can come over here and do it.
If you guys have a co-op in your area, or if you're in Central Florida, you guys want to become part of Standard Motorcycle Company, you will have access to it. And the membership per month, totally cheaper to pay for the membership per month than to pay to have your tires done somewhere else. And come here and learn how to do it yourself. And then you have expert assistants like Padre here.
Yeah, that's going to be my name from now on.
So when you're at Standard Motorcycle Company, you got to take a break from all that hard work. with the coffee bar.
Woo! Put in a little cream for you.
It's a how-to on how to do coffee.
Yeah. You ready for this? Yeah.
So you guys just built this bar,
In a day.
and you guys are gonna put a glaze like over all this once it's all done?
Yeah, after Bike Week, once everyone's had a chance to put their mark,
Yes.
we're gonna...
Kieran, right? The name of the artist?
Yes.
Kieran?
Yes.
Yeah,
Kieran.
his Instagram's right there.
He did the Indian logo.
Oh, nice.
He
Yeah.
did the Orange County Brewery logo.
Talented dude, man.
Very, very talented.
Cheers to Standard.
Woo!
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so Padre has gotten the tire off of the wheel, rather.
Mm-hmm.
Which you guys can see over there. Got the tube.
Look what it says over here in this.
Blockhead.
Yeah.
Should say Miss Blockhead, though. Yeah, so we're getting the new tires, unwrapping them like it's Christmas Day.
Here we go.
What do we go with, new tire-wise? Dunlop?
Yeah.
All right. Pretty much like the stock tires, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we went with those because as Padre says, Florida is flat. They're a harder compound. Dunlops are great, and they will last a while. So
Yeah, they will.
plan on putting some miles on these things. Man, they look so much different from the old ones. Like you can see, they're fresh.
Mm-hmm.
They don't look all dry and flaky.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get to it. The balancing bead. The balancing dot over here. You see that? There's a balancing dot.
Yep.
Yeah, it has to align with the valve stem
Oh, no.
over here. So we're gonna take care of that.
Valve stem hole there.
Mm-hmm.
Balancing dot there.
Also, replace your rim band at all times, cause of this.
Oh, it goes on the inside
Yeah,
against the spokes.
yeah. You can see a little bit of rust all over the place, and this rust gets loose and goes into your tube and flat tire.
No bueno.
Got a new one, as you can see.
New rim band. Nice.
Slime.
All right, so you got the slime brush.
Yeah. Look at that.
So you gotta put slime on it. What is that for?
To make the tire go in place, you gotta lube it. It's the only way to go. So you remember when I removed the rotor is in which side?
The belt goes on the right. Rotor goes on the left.
Okay.
Yep.
So lesson over here. There's a little arrow over here. It says a rotation. Okay. So how's supposed this tire go if this stays to the left?
Yep. So it'll go. Yep. That's right.
That's right, isn't it?
Yep.
There it is.
Attention to detail.
Details. And electrode over here. And I'm most of the way in. Now we do this little game over here. It didn't work. Here we go. Boom.
Nice. So you put the tube in afterwards?
Put the tube right now. Put this thing back in. Oh, look at that.
So valve stem in first.
Yes, and get it in place before you do anything else.
Nice.
And usually this is like, there's people that stress with this because it's not an easy task in the beginning. Always learning every day. Probably somebody's gonna watch this video and comment on something and say, Pedro, there's easier ways to do that. I'm lazy. Come over here. We have a special little tool to help doing this, but I'm the old school guy that likes getting things done the hard way. You see that? It's almost over there, isn't it?
Find the hole, Pedro.
Here it is, it's there, right?
Yeah.
So we got like a little tool. I made friends with it. So, nobody got time for that. So we just put this little tool over here. Call me whatever, but this gets the job done.
Bam.
Look at that.
What do you call that little valve stem puller?
I don't know the name of it, but it's beautiful, isn't it?
Hey, buddy.
Hi, friends.
How's it going, man?
Dot over here.
Yep.
We gotta get it to the stem as close as possible. There you go. Boom. There we go. Slime is your friend. There you go. Look at that. People that make a huge mess with these. It's alright to make a mess. But remember, you gotta clean it up afterwards, and I don't like that part. I've seen people using all kinds of stuff like dish soap and stuff like that to get it done. Okay, this is the fun part now. now wants to fight me a little bit, so you grab this. Go all the way over here. No, this doesn't damage your ram. Don't worry. Great success. And now we're going to pop the bead on this thing. Even if it is a tube tire.
What does that mean, pop the bead?
Oh, you're about to learn. You gotta sit the bead around the rim perfectly, you know? That's another reason why we put the slime on this thing. You just put some air and don't overdo it, because you'll regret that decision.
I love that about this shop. Just grab a hose from the ceiling everywhere.
Everywhere there's stuff. You're supposed to hear like a big pop, and then followed by another big pop, and that's when you know it's done.
So basically at this point the tube is expanding and pushing the bead into place, right?
Mm-hmm. 1, 2. It's done. And never forget to put this back in.
Oh, the valve stem?
Yep.
So Padre's saying not to forget to do this part. Basically put the valve stem back in and then tighten the valve piece in place.
Mm-hmm. Before you put the wheel, you should like put the right tire pressure on it. Actually, if you come over here and look at the bike. So it tells you over here, rear, 40 PSI cold.
Nice.
So it tells you over here on the newer bikes, on the new Harleys.
Very cool.
Yeah, people don't know that.
Fun facts with Padre. Alright, so we just checked the spokes for looseness, they're all good. Check the bearing as well, or the bearings. All good. So it's ready to go back on the bike. This is nice, man. Me filming a how-to video and not actually having to, you know. Your services are appreciated, Padre.
You're welcome. Here we go. Careful with the belt, as always. Don't scratch that rotor. You got spacers. You got everything. So this is like the interesting part, where you put everything back together. Like this can go back in place right now. Already has some grease on it, so I'm not gonna worry too much about it. Check the piston. You can back it up a little bit if you want to. I can do it with my hands because I'm Hulk. And boom. The reason why I removed this and back it up is so it doesn't touch the rim and damage it. But yeah, pretty much we're on the good path over here to finish this wheel. We still got the front wheel. My broken English is so cute, isn't it?
Hey,
oh man.
Ooh.
Ooh. So the interesting fact over here, you gotta get this spacer over here before it reaches this point, or else you're not gonna enjoy what's happening next.
So spacer in, then lower it, line it back up.
Yeah, you'll see. Yeah, it won't go anywhere now. There's another spacer on this side. This one is easier to get to. This one you just push it over here. Back up the caliper assembly over here. This one will definitely stay in place. Boom. Alright, we're getting there. So what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna align this as best as we can. Because somebody forgot to lube this thing, I'm gonna grab some grease over here.
Oh yeah.
I love grease. See this? Come on, bro. This needs real grease on it, so. Look at that. It's never too much. It's an old saying in Portugal. And I'm not gonna say it. Because I'm doing these stroke movements right now and it doesn't feel very manly right now. There we go again. Oh, it's there. Spacer. Nut. And we're gonna torque this nut.
Pedro for oh, nice.
And you just replace them. Yeah, you should put blow Loctite on everything on the old Harley. Always pump your brake after you mess with pads. Always. So over here, we can look at the adjustment. Depending on which model, you got to do the adjustment with all the weight of the bike on the rear wheel. In some other bike, there's like the two specs. When you have the wheel off the ground and when the wheel is touching the ground, different specs for belt deflection. The tool we use. People are gonna hate me. I'm gonna say I do this by feel. But yeah, I do it by feel. But you actually can use this Beautiful little tool. And it actually pushes all to 10 pounds, the weight. Don't get me wrong, I'm European, so I'm still a metric. So, and there's always, not usually, like at 10 pounds how much it will move. So you line up this little thing with this little thing. Like let's put one at this little over here and see how much it moves at 10 pounds. And it didn't move that much. According to the manual, which I don't have it at hand right now, it's good. And the alignment, so you take a coat hanger and you just cut it, and there's like you do it from here to here. There's a tool you put in here and you see the alignment. Bend the coat hanger, that's what it says in the manual. You bend a coat hanger and put a zip tie and then you line it up.
Says that in the manual?
In the manual, yes, I swear it says that in the manuals.
What?
Yeah, Harley-Davidson, prehistoric. But yeah, people usually take a vernier caliper and measure the difference on both sides. So there's a huge torque spec for this thing. Never forget to put this thing back on, never. Because that's what will help you when if this backs up, this keeps it in place. At least for a while it will keep it in place. You gotta check it once in a while.
Like a retaining ring?
Yeah, and look at that, boom, and boom. There we go, this one's done. Now I'm taking the bike out of the lift to do the front one.